Can you beat Borderlands 2 while only using grenades? Episode number 5. And starting off from last time, I had just gotten to the Wildlife Exploitation Preserve, beaten Bloodwing, and also continued farming the loot midgets, because I will definitely need a very good grenade mod to get through the constructors on the way to bunker. And now that I'm level 21, of course I can use 2 grenades at once when I'm gun-zerking, so life is just that much easier in this game. Then I kill the first set of midgets and they drop absolutely nothing for me. Then at the start of the second run I quickly kill Pimon and Tumba, they dropped absolutely nothing, and I get all the way to the midgets without any hassle really, and they drop absolutely nothing, and this is about to seem like it's going to be a long day. But then the unthinkable happens and I get absolutely nothing again on the third try. But then on the fourth try I get the thing that is possibly the closest thing to being a grenade without actually being a grenade. And seeing as it's not even $1,000, it really just shows me how shit of a weapon that is. Then I get to the 5th run and I'm starting to lose hope because I get nothing once again. But then I get my hopes high because I see Pimon and Tumba for the 2nd time on the 6th run. But they drop absolutely nothing and it's time to go see if the midgets will. And it turns out that 6 is my lucky number because yes they do, and it is a grenade mod. But then sadly I noticed the orange piece on the side, which means it will be an incendiary grenade, and it is the Fire Bee, which is absolutely excellent against anything except constructors and any other robot to be fair. But yeah, not exactly what I'm looking for right now, so I'll continue. And I don't even need to continue that long because the very next enemy, it drops another legendary grenade mod, and this time it is actually quite useful. It is the legendary, sadly rubberized, bonus package. And you know what? A level 19 bonus package? I'll 100% take that, and that should be enough to take down constructors. Emphasis on should. So I continue through the Wildlife Exploitation Preserve to get back to Sanctuary, and I want to kill the son of Mothrak, because it will never be as good as its father. But instead of going straight to Sanctuary, I decide to go to 1000 Cuts instead and quickly do the Once and Future Slab mission. And as I get to the initiation room where Brick is, the Slab King, and all I have to do now is just chuck a fastball at one of the badass Goliaths and watch the show. Then 5 minutes later, it's just me, him, and one other Goliath, so I decide to get out the Fire Bee, throw it at the Goliath, and watch him burn to death. Then the sexiest character in Borderlands history shows his face. Then I kill the sarcastic Slab, and nearly kill myself in the process. Then 10 minutes later, after watching Brick destroy a bunch of beacons and loaders at the same time, the mission is complete and I head back to Sanctuary. Then I go and turn in the mission, and now I have started the Men Who Would Be Jack mission. And all that needs from me is for me to go to Opportunity, kill Jack's body double, steal his shit, go record some lines from his dialogue, and then I'll be ready to go and infiltrate the bunker. But before I go there, all I need to do is go to Moxie, accept her mission because she gives me a nice unique grenade mod. So then I head into Opportunity, and the first thing I need to do now is head straight to Handsome Jack's body double. And he was easy enough to find, but will he be that easy to kill? And of course he is. So what I do is I chuck a rubberized Stormfront grenade straight away just to take out his shield, then swap to the Fire Bee because that thing absolutely melts anything that's made out of flesh. And there we have it, the stinky looking bastard is now finally dead. And now that he's dead, all I have to do is go around and collect as many voice samples as I can at all the different info kiosks, but also going and doing Moxie's mission. So halfway through grabbing all the info kiosks, I just go and kill the first enemy from Moxie's mission, who is Foreman Jasper. And while he can drop the legendary black hole shield, I don't farm him for it because I don't really need it at this point. So I kill him and he sadly doesn't drop it. But then I continue with the mission, grab the bombs, and bomb the dam that I'm supposed to destroy. And that's that mission done, so all I have to do is turn that mission in at Sanctuary and I'll get the reward. Then I finish off the last 2 kiosks, and now I'm heading back to Sanctuary to turn in both of the missions. So I start off by turning in Moxie's mission, and she gives me the explosive Kiss of Death. And it doesn't really matter what type it is only used for one thing in my entire run. And that will be coming up very soon, and it will be the saviour of the run. But I did not know it at this time. But anyway, I had to Roland and now it's time to go and start the Where Angels Fear to Tread mission. So I grabbed Claptrap and we head to 1000 Cuts. Then as we get to 1000 Cuts, Claptrap lets me through the Hyperion barrier. Then he immediately decides to abandon me like he's a teenage girl and I'm her newborn child. And now we have the first hurdle of many for this mission. And my personal nemesis when it comes to grenades, Mr. Constructor. And then I swap to my brand new bonus package, and it turns out that it does pretty well, but seeing as there's a badass constructor coming up, not looking great. But I do beat this constructor on my very first try, so it's looking very good for me. Then we have what is possibly the biggest hurdle of the entire run, and it is just these two little Hyperion turrets. You might not think that they're very tough, but for some reason, a lot of different damage sources just doesn't do any damage to these things. I think the problem is explosives. So I bring every possible grenade type from bouncing betties to corrosive clouds to instant impact grenades, and I also bring Moxie's Kiss of Death. Now I know some of you have said in the comments that it is absolutely impossible to kill these things with grenades of any type. But as you can see, it's killing them. It's working. And now I guess the problem is that the only people who have tried this have done it with mainly only fastballs. So I can see why you think it's impossible, but here you go. I just got past the impossible part of a grenades only challenge. Thank you, Moxie's Kiss of Death. So confused out of my mind why that worked, I decide to continue. And after 10 minutes of constant dying at least 10 times, and letting my brain work out which will be the best way to kill this guy, I finally get killed for the final time after getting him down by like a quarter health. Not enough, not even close. So I decide it's time to go back to the Wildlife Exploitation Preserve and keep going until I either get a Pandemic, a Caustic Leech, a Corrosive Nasty Surprise, or a Corrosive Fastball. I would say a Corrosive Bouncing Bonnie, but there's just no way that is reliable enough to use against such a hard enemy. So we let the farming commence once again, and on the third run we finally get our first legendary grenade mod, and we were close, but sadly it's an electric leech, not a corrosive one. Close, but not quite there yet. Then on the very next run we get another legendary grenade mod, but again sadly it's not corrosive, but it is a quasar and it could be very helpful later on. Then on the 7th run, nearly 20 minutes later, we get the third legendary grenade mod, and again it is quite close, but not close enough. We get a slag nasty surprise, which also might be very useful later on, just not right now and not against a constructor. Then nearly half an hour later on the 13th run, we get our fourth and final legendary grenade mod, and it is absolutely the holy grail of all grenade mods. Let's go it again. Oh wait, what's this? Oh, it's fucking corrosive! And here we have the best possible grenade mod we could have asked for in the entire game. Now, it could have been 1 or 2 levels higher, but that don't matter. We just got the exact grenade mod we were looking for out of a random well drop from Loot Midgets. That is a huge win in my books. And because I got enough iridium, I can finally get the 10th grenade slot and final grenade slot. So now I'm at maximum grenades, and this badass constructor is now screwed. Hopefully. Then after going straight to 1000 Cuts, throw on a couple corrosive fastballs straight at the badass constructor, I realised that I'm going to still need a very smart plan. And so 20 minutes later, I start off with that plan by killing both of the turrets. Even though the door was open, I definitely need to kill both of those turrets, because later on I will need to definitely hide behind these doors, as I'll need to use it for protection from the nuke and all the other attacks that the constructor has. But I can't do that if the turrets are there. So I'm going to have to fight off all the robots here quickly. Then while going through the entire area, I'm fighting off every robot I can. And when I get low enough on grenades, I go and open all the boxes without grabbing the grenades from them yet. And when I do need grenades, the only place I'll let myself go is back where the first constructor is, because there are plenty of ammo boxes there, and not an infinite amount of ammo boxes here. So what I do when I make it to the top, I make sure I've finished off every single enemy apart from the constructor. I've taken its turrets away and everything. Then I let it kill me, and this is where the fun begins. So then I start off from the top where the constructor is, and I open all the ammo boxes, throwing every grenade I've got, then heading down level, opening every ammo crate there, grabbing all the grenades, chucking them straight at the constructor, and when I get him down to half health, I can go all the way back to where the door is basically, and at that distance, the lasers cannot hit me as they have a certain range. The nukes will just go straight up to the air and they explode, and when he uses his missile attack, all I have to do is duck behind something. And then the entire time I'm just constantly throwing corrosive fastballs while in Gunzoker mode, doing double damage, and this whole thing takes me exactly 15 minutes just to kill this badass constructor, and I actually did it. It took about 5 or 6 tries, and it's finally done. I'm not... Shit, too high. No. Yes! Yes! I fucking did it. Alright, you big fucking hunk of fucking metal and cancer. Now we can move on to the bunker, but we'll leave that until next time. I have definitely got enough suicidal thoughts for one day. So that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and leave any ideas or tips in the comments below.